Hello again to Violeta English by Reportage. Welcome to my home TV studio. Let's say it's true that television and media has evolved a lot nowadays. Now you can simply address to the public from the privacy of your own home if you have the minimum of gadgets, um, recorder, an artificial light, uh, sound device which can capture the sound, which is remarkable. It gives a lot of freedom to a lot of people to create video content. It also gives us a lot of responsibility, and of course, it also leaves place to a lot of improvisation. But that's another subject. Because last time I started talking about how people react to stress, I made direct reference to young people and their response to stress and the addictions that come up at a certain point due to the lack of adaptation to the circumstances of life. Today I would like to talk about something that I see as a solution. Let's say something that I see as a cure, of course, uh, metaphorically speaking. And mm, in my opinion, sometimes simple solutions are the most efficient ones. Um, so the solution that I thought of today is finding a hobby. Mm, I address many of my videos to the category of young people, but not only, of course, um, but especially to young people because I talk about different social problems and young people, teenagers especially, and young people generally are more vulnerable to these situations due to the age and the stage of development in which they find themselves. So again, finding a hobby is something that addresses to young people, but not only to people of all ages this time. Because finding a hobby is finding again the pleasure to live, especially for people who pass through extreme fatigue, tiredness, through extreme stress due to different stressful situations in life. Um, some state of stress might find its place in their lives, and at that point they don't enjoy anymore the beauty of life. Again, I see all this as a journalist. I followed a lot of psychologists and people who um, talk about these subjects. And at a certain point, when someone is in such a situation of extreme stress, one one loses the pleasure of living. And in order to find again this joy, I thought of a simple solution which works for me, but I noticed that it also works for other people. A hobby is something that makes you feel excited, makes you feel proud of yourself, it makes you feel impatient to do that activity that you love. So I think this is a good solution. Mm, there are people who don't think about a hobby for a long time, especially when they are young. For instance, I worked for a while as a teacher in the public system in Romania, and because I taught English, of course, we had many discussions in English just to practice speaking and conversation. And one of the discussions was repetitively, do you have a hobby? Do you enjoy doing something, especially in your spare time? And some of the students enjoyed talking about this topic because they had some hobbies related to art, to sports, to fashion, to all sorts of fields. But there were other students, um, young people, of course, teenagers, who, many others actually, to my surprise, who said that they didn't have any hobby. And at first I was very astonished, and I repeated the question, are you sure you don't have any hobby at all? Anything that you like? Anything that you are attracted to doing in your spare time? No, I don't have anything. Many of an important number of them replied. I insisted. Some girls, thinking better, said that they might have a hobby related to fashion or to nail painting or manicure or to um, hair style, haircut. And the boys answered that they enjoyed especially a sport like football, which is quite traditional and important in Romania, or other sports activities or traveling. So in the end, even those who didn't have any hobby um, in their mind, and they didn't practice anything, especially in their free time, when they thought better, they said that they actually mm, had a favorite activity in their spare time, in their free time, in the weekends, on vacation, during the holiday season, during the school breaks. Yeah, the breaks in during the school year. So that's the key. That thing that you are attracted to is a gift that you have from God, is something that you might even be talented for. You might have some special qualities for a particular activity. And if you do that activity, if you develop that attraction, that hobby, you will certainly enjoy life much more. For me, for instance, this doing these videos is a hobby. It's a hobby related to, of course, to my work in television, uh, which was more than 15 years. So it was quite a career, I'd rather say. But at this point, I don't work anymore in media, and I don't properly have a video studio or something professional for this. So what I'm doing is actually a hobby. It's a hobby because I don't live out of this. I don't earn my existence creating video content. So I do it in order to share my thoughts with other people. I'm sure that I will find people who will agree with me, who have the same feelings about the things that I'm talking about. Of course, there will be other people who don't agree or disagree with me. But I do this activity as a hobby because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel that I keep on using my experience as journalist, as a TV journalist, in order to go on this flow of communicating with the public and transmitting information or um, opinions. In this case, it's certainly about opinions. Um, I only say my opinion about some subjects. Of course, I make some documentation and um, or I simply express my opinion about different subjects. So that's a hobby, and it makes me feel good. Mm, prior to doing this video, I even read some articles on the internet. Um, I read two blogs written by people who had a hobby. One of them even said that the hobby saved his life because he was at a difficult point in his life, and he found the pleasure of living again by practicing a hobby. And the other one developed the subject more and said that something that makes a lot of sense. Um, if you have a hobby and you want to develop more and more this hobby, normally you will be interested in meeting other people who have the same hobby that you have. For instance, if you like painting, I like painting. Sometimes I paint. When I also when I find the time to do this activity. So, for instance, you like painting. You at a certain point you will feel like taking some painting classes or joining a painting club, for instance, and there you will meet people, you will communicate with them, you will exchange pieces of information, and this is how this hobby will bring you a lot of communication, will make you find yourself in the company of other people. You will no longer feel alone, for instance, if you do feel like this from time to time. And this is how a hobby can improve your life a lot. And what the blog that I consulted was talking about, it was using an expression that a hobby can help you find your tribe, meaning that it will help you join a community of people where you will feel very comfortable because they have the same appetite for a particular activity that you enjoy. And this is nothing but a great thing. You will find friends, you will make friends with people who have the same um, values and the same preoccupations as you do, and this is great. So this is how hobby can improve your life. This is how a hobby can open your um, appetite for um, loving yourself, for um, finding um, ways to live your life in a beautiful way. And I think this practicing a hobby is also a solution for young people who are at a point in their lives when they don't know exactly what to do. They are very much influenced by their circle of friends, by influencers on social media, and all sorts of trends. And I think a hobby can help them and keep them grounded, keep them realistic, keep them also in a good mood. At the same time, I think for those young people that I'm talking about, cultivating a hobby is not something that comes naturally. I think it should be cultivated by parents. So here is where parent responsibility comes into play. Um, of course, uh, I don't really agree with parents who send their children to 100 activities during the childhood. Ballet, gymnastics, painting, um, theater, uh, I don't know, science, and English, Spanish, Italian, I don't know, many activities. I think this is not quite the best thing to do, but at the same time, I wouldn't go to the other extreme where uh, parents don't lead the child towards any extra school activity or towards any activity at all. Mm, I think it's a good idea that parents might try to find from a young age in children an attraction for a particular activity, arts, sports, music, and cultivate this thing. Maybe later the child, as he grows and he becomes a teenager, a young man or a young woman, uh, he or she will decide that they don't really want to go on with that activity that they started as they were children, that it's not totally what suits them. No problem, because they are already cultivated with this habit of having a hobby, and they will easily choose another one. They are already in the habit of having something extra school to do. They are also familiarized with the social circles that are created in the environment where a hobby takes place, such an activity takes place. So they will search for that kind of activity also in their teenage years or even later in their 20s or 30s. So I think this is how it works. Parents can help children as they are little and take them to one or two activities that children will do in their free time. and later they will be the ones who will search for such activities and will realize that wasting too much time in a social circle with a circle of friends, wasting too much time, I don't know, in a park, or maybe wasting too much time in unfavorable and dangerous addictions is not something that makes them feel good, but what makes them feel good is socializing with people who have some values, who want to do something good in their lives, and who have a passion, an attraction for an activity, and um, they will have this ambition to do something, to develop a particular talent that they have, or they will have the ambition to cultivate an attraction for a field of activity, and this will certainly um, get them out from that position of risk, which is practically present when they are young, they are in their teenage years. They are easy to be influenced by uh, negative people around them. So finding, you know, finding a path to go in the positive, in the good direction, um, finding that satisfaction of living in joy rather than in addiction, in fear, in stress. I think this is something that people can cultivate from a young age, and a hobby can be a good vehicle, can be a good means in order to do that. I hope it was useful for you, my simple solution, which is actually not so simple because it is something that we can and we should cultivate little by little. So until the next video, I wish you to have a good day. Goodbye.